East. So I definitely appreciate you mentioning the journey I'm embarking on with fatherhood. So can I get a highlight? Am I highlighted right now? Am I?
Yeah, you were highlighted.
Okay, excellent, excellent, perfect. Well, I want to dive in because I am excited to give this message, and I want to before I start this message, I want to make sure that the screen is side by side mode because I have a lot of slides to go through, and I want to make sure you could see me and you could also see the screen. So if you haven't made that adjustment on your Zoom, please be sure to do so by clicking the view options in side by side mode. I want to start off by I'm going to break my message off into two different topics. So, two topics I'm going to talk about today: mindset and skill set. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on mindset. I'm going to spend a lot of time on skill set. I have, as Mr. Gamboa said, I did do Cutco through college. I did sell over $330,000 worth of Cutco as a college kid. I did win an All American scholarship. I did set a region sales record. I did purchase and invest into real estate. I had 3 houses by the time I graduated from college. I did just our team won 5 silver cups in the last 2 years. All of that is fantastic, but none of that is relevant to you. The only thing that's relevant to you is two things. Number one, can you leave this message into massive action to creating more phone numbers? That's number one. Can you leave my message and leave this event into massive action to creating more phone numbers? And number two, can you convert those new phone numbers into new appointments? Can you convert those phone numbers into new appointments? Because those are the two fuels that are going to help you chase down your dreams. You want to buy houses, you want to travel the world, you want to pay your way through college, you want to invest, you want to train new people, you want to start philanthropy, you want to write books, whatever it is that you want. The two keys to helping you create massive amounts of options in your life is going to be generating phone numbers and then turning those phone numbers into appointments. And that's the premise of my message today. So I'm excited to dive in and help you with those two endeavors. So as far as mindset goes, mindset. A couple of things I want to help you keep in mind. Number one is risk versus reward. Some of this might be review for some of you. Some of this might be first time you're hearing this, but risk versus reward. You got to know that the risk is just the time. The risk is the time. The reward are all the benefits that you want, all your dreams, all your goals. But the risk is just the time because there's no such thing as rejection. Rejection is not real. If anyone says, "Oh my gosh, I'm so scared to ask someone for their phone number. I'm so scared to ask for an appointment. What if they reject me?" Well, here's the thing that helps with sales. Really anything in life is that I didn't have whatever I wanted before I asked, and if they say no, I still don't have it. So my life didn't get worse. My life stayed the same. So rejection is not real. I either get what I want or I stayed the same. So if you could be okay with staying the same and being okay with trying to make progress forward, rejection is not real. Another mindset shift that needs to happen is that no one is going to get mad at you for asking for a favor. In fact, people feel good when you ask them for favors. In fact, by saying the phrase, "I have a favor. I have a favor to ask you." If you say that phrase, it triggers in our brain a chemical called oxytocin, and it activates when we do random acts of kindness for other people. So here's what I would say to you: don't be so selfish. Don't be so selfish where you won't let someone do a favor for you. How many of you would say that if someone asked you for a favor, you'd be willing to do them a favor? But what, you're too good where you can't let someone else pay that forward to you, where that you're so independent that you're so, no, I got to do this on my own. You can't help me. No, let them help you. Be willing to accept. Be willing to accept favors. No one's going to get mad at you for asking for a favor. So far, risk versus reward. Rejection's not real. No one's going to get mad at you for asking for favors. The next point is be unattached from outcomes. Be unattached from outcomes. See, anytime in life that we are chasing anything outside of us, if we're chasing a trophy, if we're chasing a paycheck, we're chasing a goal, and we don't get it, oftentimes we can settle in for disappointment, discouragement, angst, worry, depression, because we're chasing something in the outside world. So we want to be unattached from the outcome. Forget about the result. Forget about the sale. Forget about the paycheck. Be completely unattached. Be okay with no. Be okay with not getting that result right away. Why? Where are my athletes at? Give me a thumbs up if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete, if you ever played a sport, if you ever got struck out, what does the coach say? If you ever missed the game-winning field goal, what does the coach say? Hey, no sweat. We'll get back in there next time. If you're in academics and you had a bad grade, what is the teacher going to say? Drop out of school? No, they're going to say, hey, it happens. Let's move forward. Be unattached from the grade. Be unattached from the outcome. Be okay. Be okay with with rejection. Be okay with no. Strengthen that relationship. Strengthen the relationship. Next, you got to get contacts from yourself before you could ask for contacts from other people. You got to expect contacts from yourself. A mindset is the most awkward random person that you can think of in your life. You must be okay asking them for their phone number in order for you to be a magnet of phone numbers from all the other people who are going to give you phone numbers. If it's uncomfortable for you to ask your orthodontist for an appointment, if it is awkward for you to reach out to the principal of your high school for an appointment, if it is weird for you to ask your guidance counselor for an appointment, if it is odd or strange to reach out to someone from 7th grade that you have not talked to in 5 or 6 years and asking them for their mom's phone number, it is going to be uncomfortable and slightly awkward for you to ask your customer to give you more recommendations. There's going to be a little bit of hesitancy because you haven't truly, fully got all contacts from yourself first. You must be willing to get contacts from yourself. Also, ask with confidence. When you are asking for anything with confidence, looks like someone else is sharing the screen. Thank you. When you're asking with confidence, 100% with confidence, what do I mean by that? Is I'm unattached from the outcomes, but I'm expecting a yes. I would write that down. I am unattached from the outcomes, but I am expecting a yes. Here's a little trick that you could do to help you with that is use your smile and nod nonverbals. Do yourself a favor. Stop at a traffic light, look at the car next to you, and just hit them with the smile and nod. A little shoulder shrug, if you will. And they're going to agree with you, and they don't even know what you asked. They're going to agree with you. They don't even know what you asked them. Hit them with one of these. Smile and nod. And they're going to agree with you. So you got to ask with confidence. You want to expect the head nod. And if they look at you weird, keep nodding and you could throw one of these like, come on. You know you want to smile. You know you want, come on. Let's change up the facial hair. Why? It's so silly. It's so silly. But it will strengthen your confidence muscle. You want to strengthen your confidence muscle. Ask with confidence. If you want more work around this mindset, if you want more mindset tools, then you could feel free to text GRAB to 66866. I have tons of free content on mindset that I could share with you. In fact, I have 9 books, a few best-selling books that are available on Amazon. But when you text GRAB to 66866, you will get tons of free content, lots of videos, lots of workshops and worksheets, things that are available to you for free just to help you strengthen self-confidence or strengthen your relationship with rejection or unattachment from outcomes. If you want more content on that, then you can feel free to go from there. The rest of my message is going to be surrounded around skill set. I have 4 skill sets that we're going to dig into today. I'm going to talk a little bit about Q and helping you advance your Q setup. We're going to teach you on how to find more clients. I'm going to show you how to leverage Facebook and social media. And we're also going to give you some phone tips. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have socks on right now, I'm about to knock them off. Okay. So strap in, boys and girls. The next 30 minutes or so is going to be straight up skill set content that's going to help you generate more phone numbers and generate more appointments. But nothing that I'm about to tell you for the next 30 minutes or so is relevant if you don't have the mindset. If you are still living in scarcity of like, oh, I don't have enough, or I'm nervous about this, or none of the stuff I'm going to teach you is going to help you if you have a scarcity mindset. So we got to move past that past mindset and move forward into who you're capable of being, which is hopefully what we got accomplished already. If we didn't, we can continue to work on that. So let's go for it. Number one is Q. So Q, if you haven't downloaded the app Q, I highly recommend you to be using this. This is your phone jam app. I'm going to assume that all of you are using Q. If you are not using Q, talk to your manager ASAP and get on it. So a couple of advanced tools in Q, a couple of advanced ones. The first advanced tool in Q is go ahead and everyone, if you're on Q, go ahead and pull out your Q, pull it up, and I want you to pull out your cell phone right now with me. I'll give you 10 seconds to pull out your cell phone. Once you pull up your Q, hold it to the screen so I can see that you have it up. Okay, I'm scrolling. Thank you, Ada, Jet, Tori, Jenna, Misael, Angel, Lauren. All right, cool. Haley, Katie, bunch of you. Awesome. So when you click on your homepage, okay, you have this homepage here, and then you click on Brainstorm, this Brainstorm page. This is what should pop up. This is your Brainstorm list, and these are all the people that you have in your phone that are non-customers, like they're like your friends. These are your friends' phone numbers. Go ahead and show me this right here. Go ahead and show me that page right there. I'm gonna call on one of you. So Haley Loudon. Loudon. I might have messed you up. I know you can't unmute, so we're gonna play that. We're gonna have a non-verbal conversation, okay, Haley? So what I want you to do, and everyone else is gonna do the exact same thing. I want you to click on one person, just one. Any one of these people that are listed here that you do not have their parents' phone number. Haley, do you got one? Thumbs up. Cool. I want you to click that little text message icon, and it's going to pull up on your cell phone, your text message. Do you see that? Thumbs up when you're there. I want you to click send. I want you to send that text message to whoever you clicked. Cool. Thumbs up. Simple. Awesome. I want everyone to do that to 3 people, a total of 3 people. 3 people that you have in your cell phone that you don't have their parents' number. You have not done an appointment with them. Just pick out 3. Don't go through every one of them. Like this one you see on my screen, it says 8. Some of you have, Haley, show me with your fingers. How many does it say on yours? Like you see mine says 8. How many does it say on yours, Haley? 214. 214? Holy Lord. Okay. So that means you have 214 friends that you don't have their parents' phone numbers yet. But you have 214 contacts in your phone that you could reach out to them and ask them for their parents' number. All we're doing during my message right now is picking out 3. Pick out 3, send that message, and then put your phone away. Like, don't put your phone away, but like, don't respond to them or anything. I'm going to come back to you, Haley, at some point. I'll see if I can find you again, and we'll see if any of those 3 friends respond to you. Okay. Everyone else, I'll give you 30 more seconds to click that little text icon and send that message to 3 people. Don't change anything. Don't tweak anything. Don't do anything. I just want you to see how simple it is to get results. Okay. That's one thing on Q. Easy way for you to get more phone numbers. The next thing on Q. On Q, there's this little icon with a little man that says click to add contacts. That little button right there is how you want to add new contacts into your queue every single day. Every single day, you want to add new contacts into your queue. So when your friend responds to you, and Haley, I could still see you on my screen. So hit me up, like give me like a big wave if someone responds to you. Okay, just kind of hit me up. All right. So when say one of Haley's friends responds to her and gives her their parents' phone number, she would add that contact into her phone. When you have customers give you recommendations, you add them into your contacts. You want to do this every single day. You want to constantly update your queue so it's organized. Simple. Most of you are probably doing this, but you want to make sure you're doing it every single day. When you do this, what it allows you to do, it allows you to get organized. See where it says take notes? You can take notes on your customer. What did they buy? Why they didn't buy after your appointment, after you're done. What you could do on this as well is it shows you how many times you called them. It shows you how many times you texted them, how many times they said call you back. It shows you some things. I'm going to play this quick video for you, just showing you all the other cool features that you can do called tags and stars on queue.
Now, once you've imported your contacts, the next
Haley, thumbs up. You can hear that? Cool.
thing you're probably going to want to do is add all the customers who weren't in your contacts in the first place. So again, if they have a kid who you imported earlier as a friend, you can go to Brainstorm, click add, and just copy and paste their number in there. But for most of these people, and when you start getting referrals down the line, you're going to want to click this add button up here. Now, if they're personal contacts, you check that switch, and you can add all of the contacts that you want here all at once. Let's say Mrs. Jones is a star.
See how he just starred? Those stars are the ones when you sit down and phone jam are your best bets. That's who you want to star. You want to call them first. So you want to organize all your queue contacts and you want to have your stars. So when you sit down to jam, you're not just calling everyone, you're calling your stars first.
And there's tags here that I can use in order to distinguish people by where they live or any other attributes that I might want to.
So the tags are going to help you with time zones or, already owning Cutco. So if they're already a Cutco owner, you can make that a tag or, however you want to tag them. Tagging is just a way to organize, another way to qualify or organize.
So let's say I have friends in Bergen County where I'm from. And also potentially customers on Long Island, which I don't want to be seeing at the same time, like during the same day. So I'll make a new tag for Bergen County, and I'll add that one to Mrs. Jones. And the next person I input, Mrs. Smith, let's say.
And then you create new tags for each person. But here's what's cool, watch. And some of you might know this.
And of course, if they were recommended by someone, I would put that recommender right here in the referred by. But for now, let's say they're personal contacts. We'll save them.
And then you click contacts. See, when you click contacts, now you can click, you see the stars show up at the top. So you know your best bets right off the bat.
You can see they're all added right here. And I can filter by the people who are tagged as Bergen County and the people that are tagged as Long Island.
So you can filter by time zones. So like you could have central time zone or Western time zone or, different time zone. You could sort by Cutco owners, or you could sort by the stars. Those would be your three best bets. So by doing that, by doing this tags, you're going to be able to make your phone jams more efficient, because the challenge with some of you is we get so desperate, and I've related to this, where I get so desperate for demos, I'll just book up an appointment with anyone. But you don't want to just book up appointments with anyone. You want to book appointments with your best people, and you want to replicate your best people. So you want to call them first. Sometimes we call the easiest people, which sometimes aren't the best people. So just something to think about there. And then you could view, and you have all this, when you organize it the right way, you can organize your contacts, which allows you to make very efficient phone jams take place. So that's on queue. Cool. Thumbs up. Good stuff so far. Is that helpful? Okay. Excellent. If you have any light bulbs or you just learned something on queue that you're like, wow, I didn't know that, go ahead and post that up in your, oh, nice. Okay. We have, the chat box is open. So this is cool. So, let me see. Yeah. Hit me up in the chat box. Oh no, it's not open. So I'm going to allow you, boom. Everything, the chat box is now open. I like the chat box during my talk. So you can hit me up in the chat box with your biggest takeaway from that session, from that section on queue. What was your biggest thing that you're like, dang, that was really helpful. I needed to hear that. I didn't know about that. So it looks like a lot of you didn't know about the brainstorming, the stars, the tags, taking notes on customers' names. Good. Good. Excellent. So this is helpful. So I'm going to stop the chat box now. But that way I at least know what you didn't know. So that's Q. Let's transition. We're going to finding more clients. So now we're going to finding more clients. I would take a screenshot of this, but I'm also going to give you a link to this document too. But this is a getting more appointments document I created a couple years ago that really has been helpful for a lot of people. So it's some thought joggers. So some thought joggers at the top. That kind of ties into the mindset, but just reach out to everyone. Be willing to ask everyone for an appointment. You have a few different resources. You have your mom and your dad. You have mom's Facebook, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment, church, neighborhood directories, old sports rosters. There's the Nextdoor app or nextdoor.com that some people have seen some success with. There's lots of resources. I would write this down. It's never a matter of resources. It's always a matter of resourcefulness. It's never a matter of resources. It's always a matter of resourcefulness. So as long as you have resourcefulness, the resources are there. You can always find more people to call. You could always find more prospects for you to do appointments with. It's just a matter of, can you find the resourcefulness to either find their phone numbers or find the courage to ask and find and seek. So what are some thoughts? So these are some thoughts on how to get your parents involved. You sit down with mom. Here's the conversation. I'm going to role play with my new friend, Haley. All right. Just cause you're on my screen. And so if Haley was my mom, I sit down with Haley and I say, Haley, I say, Mom, I know I've been working with this job at Cutco. I know you originally sat down and you gave me some recommendations and it's been super helpful. And I get paid every time I do these appointments, but I just want to remind you that every appointment I've been doing is giving me so much more training and so much more confidence. And it's getting me so much more comfortable, not just with the job, but just in life. And I'm looking for a few more people that might set up an appointment with me, maybe might take a look that I could just introduce myself to them. Can we go through your phone again, just A through Z, and we could write down anyone that I could introduce myself to? How many moms do you have that you say, I love you to, that you could have that conversation with? You could say that to your mom. You could say that to your best friend's mom, your boyfriend or girlfriend's mom, your aunt and your grandma. There's probably 5 women in your life right now that you could have that conversation with that will sit down and go down through their cell phone contacts and hook you up with 5, 10, 15, 20 more phone numbers. Why is that relevant? Because right now it's the end of January. Between now and March 1st, you have time to work on your list because the big push, the March Madness push, starts in March. So if you can work and build this list now, between now and March 1st, during spring break and during the March Madness push, you could position yourself to have an awesome list of contacts ready to go for the push season and also for the summer season when there's no school. Another idea is the sticky note approach. Writing little sticky notes and putting them on your neighbor's door. It's not more complicated than that. Don't try to get creative and type it out and like make it look spammy or like a flyer. It's literally like a handwritten note. You put it on a sticky note and you put it on your neighbor's door. We had a girl, Courtney Clark. She was legally blind. This is before the virtual demo was really prevalent, but she had one of her friends take her to all of her neighbors' doors, wrote all the notes for her, put them on the neighbor's doors. She put them on 13 doors. 10 of them called her or texted her. 8 of them gave her an appointment. And from those 8, she ended up selling like $6,000. Crazy, right? So just a simple initiative, resourcefulness, and also an email to past teachers, very simple resource that you could use as well, or current professors. So an action step is to go through this brainstorm list, go to your queue and type them all in to your queue. So that way, as you get phone numbers, you can just add the phone numbers, but think of the contacts, think of the names and numbers first to help you remember who you have to get phone numbers for. So that's finding more clients. Also finding more clients. This is not a recommendation talk, but I do want to give you some recommendation reminders. Another way to get more phone numbers and get more clients is just do a really good recommendation approach. You can get recommendations from you, but you could also get recommendations from your customer. So most of you have a recommendation approach that looks something like this. Some of you don't know what the best way to ask for recommendations is as far as emphasis goes. So I would take a screenshot of this, which are these 6 simple fundamentals of how to emphasize the approach. For example, get a yes before you go into the approach. Do you remember that sponsorship I told you about in the beginning? Or do you remember all my contest goals I shared with you before? Get them to verbalize the word yes. In the script, it says, by the way, Miss Jones, how did you like my demo? Oh, you liked it? Yes. Great. Do you remember the sponsorship I told you about earlier? Head nod. Yes. So you want to get yeses before you go into the approach and asking them. Then there's 3 emphasis words: very, really, might. Very, really, might emphasizes urgency, importance, and possibilities. There's one more very important part. Here's where you can really help me out. 10 to 20 that might be nice enough to help me out. Urgency, importance, and possibilities, not definites, possibilities. That's where you get your long list, because you want a long list of possibilities, not a short list of definites. A long list of possibilities, not a short list of definites. Number 3 is laying the joke. Laying the joke right here. Open up your contacts and let's jot down 200 to 300 people. I'm just kidding. Just 10 to 20. See, it's called the law of relativity. The large number makes the small number sound small. So you got to land that joke. Next, show social proof. What do I mean by social proof? You must show a list or spreadsheet of some sort of other people who gave you recommendations. So in this folder, where it says getting more appointments, I'll give you this link here in just a moment. And then it says recommendations and help me with my scholarship. You must have something that looks like this that's already filled out with your customers. So when you have access to this, all you're going to do is just click File, make a copy, and you make a copy of it so you can edit it. And you show your customer, Miss Jones, these are all the people who gave me recommendations. Make it real, make it yours, but show social proof that other people have given you lots and lots of recommendations. Very important. Write this down. What they see is what they're going to think is acceptable. What they see is what they think, what they're going to view as acceptable, like a tip jar. Think of it as a tip jar. Okay. And lastly, or the last 2 is excitement for the sponsorship and the way the sponsorship works right here. The way the sponsorship works is for every 50 sponsors I get $150, right? And you want to get fired up, get them excited about the sponsorship, and then put them into action with confidence. You put them into action with confidence. So I have my sheet open right here. So who off the top of your head is nice? We'll start with the names, we come back to the numbers. So who's nice? And just put them into action. Get those lists going. Once they're into action, then you have a couple of keys here for some follow-up. The follow-up keys, number 1 is ignore them. Ignore them. It's not a cry for help. I used to play a lot of video games. I don't know if any video game nerds out there with me, but I used to play a lot of video games, and I would be playing with one of my friends, this kid. His name is Eric Rubin. Every time I'd be playing, I'd be like, I can't beat this guy. This freaking guy, you know? We used to play like Mortal Kombat growing up. I'm dating myself here. And he would always come in. He would try to like take the remote from me. He would take the controller from me. He's like, let me just beat him for you. I'm like, no, I got it. He used to say, well, you just said you can't beat him. I'm like, no. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself. So whenever a customer says, I can't think of anyone, that's not a cry for help. What they're really saying to themselves is what I used to say to myself when I was playing the video game is, how can I beat this guy? The same thing your customer is saying is, who can I give as a recommendation? I didn't need Eric to save me from the video game. I just need him to shut up and let me figure it out on my own. But the words I was saying was different. So ignore them. If they say, I can't think of anyone, just ignore them. Just smile and nod. Smile and nod. And you will see all of a sudden they're going to start racking their brain of some people. And then they're going to start listing off some people for you. Give yourself that awkward silence, that pause. But then when they give you the list, then you thank them. Thank you so much for this list. Who are these people? Oh, how do you know them? Great. Is there any way you could think of a few more? So I would take a screenshot of this if you don't have this. But again, this is all in this document I'll share with you at the end. Then you get the heads up text, and then you get the Facebook post. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time on Facebook, and then I'll wrap up with some phone tips. Leveraging Facebook. Now, some of you were at my talk. I gave a talk back in November, and some of you were at that message. If you weren't, I would go ask your manager for the recording, because I did a full message on leveraging Facebook. It was a full 30-minute workshop on just Facebook alone. I'm only going to hit on this for a few minutes, but if you want the full deep dive, find the recording of that message. But I'm just going to go through the slides with you. So if you want to leverage Facebook, number one, this is where all your customers are. All of your Mac HM3 target prospected customers are on Facebook. So you want to set up your profile. What's a good profile look like? Make sure it says you work at Vector Marketing or Cutco Cutlery. Have a profile picture where they can see your face, and have a cover photo that makes you look like a social person, either friends or family. Getting posts and tags. This is one of the most simple yet effective ways to get appointments, is getting your customer to put a post up on Facebook and tag you in it. And we have a template. I have a template. I'll give you that template as well of what do you have your customer type. It's in the document I'm going to share with you. Facebook post to share. Who can help out? You literally copy and paste this and send that to your customer and say, hey, can you put this up on Facebook and tag me in it? Here's what's cool about it, is that goes out to all of their friends that you're not friends with. And you will see people, this girl, Jessica Shannon, she had a customer post it in a mom group, and she got 100 likes and 50 comments and sold 10 grand just from Facebook alone. So if you're not leveraging Facebook, you're missing out on tons of opportunity for appointments. The next on Facebook is sending direct messages. So this is my brother, Robert. He is a Mac customer. That's his wife, Angie. So if you go, again, you could watch the video for a deep dive on this, but if you go to your, someone who's, you're in your target market, you click on friends and you click on mutual friends, high school, current city, and hometown. Those are the main ones. Now their profile must be set to public, but what's cool is I can click on here and I could see his current city that he lives in, and all of these people that look like someone I might want to do a demo for. Caitlin looks like someone I might want to do a demo for. Cool. I'm going to click add friend. I'm going to send her a message. I'm going to go to her profile and comment on something and like on something and wait for her to respond. I can send 50 messages a day doing that. And my brother had a total of 733. That's one person on Facebook that I can go reach out to them, and I would give my brother a heads up and say, hey, I'm going to introduce myself to some of your Facebook friends. See if any of them, are willing to help. This is the message that you can send. That's all in the document I'm going to hook you up with. And it also has the responses and has everything in there for you as well. You also want to make sure you don't look robotic, like you're a bot or you got hacked. So you got to actively post on Facebook. You could actively post, things about Cutco. You could actively post things about sales or specials. You could actively post just, memes that are a thing. I would avoid everything political. I would never, ever post any bias that's going to deter 50% of your audience. I would follow a guy by the name of Mike Dawid. D-A-W-I-D. He goes by Cutco Mike. Now, please do yourself a favor and do not steal this gentleman's content. I would just use his content as an idea of some things that you can do on Facebook to add to your own brand and building your own personal brand. And lastly, you could join some mom groups. There's a few mom groups that you could join. Like this is Clearwater Facebook. It's a mom group. You do not want to post anything in these mom groups. You want to ask a mom in the group to post something about you. And this was the post that had Jessica's customer posted for her, and ended up getting over 100 likes and about 50 comments. And she was able to make a lot of sales from there. So leveraging Facebook to help you have some level of success is a really good idea. So before I wrap up, I want to give you some tips for phone tips. And before I do that, Haley, did any of your friends respond yet? Not yet? All right, no big deal. No big deal. They're busy. Saturday, so they might not be by their phones. No sweat. Before I wrap up with phone tips, let me open up the chat box real fast. I'm going to open the chat box. Biggest takeaway, biggest thing that you learned that you liked so far before we go into phone tips and we wrap up. So ready? I'm going to open it up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Biggest light bulb or takeaway from that section on Facebook or finding customers or from Facebook. You guys are fired up about these mom groups. Geez, that was like the smallest thing I showed you. Urgency, becoming attached from results. Mike Dowd, Facebook groups. Mom, social proof for the recommendations. Good. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna close the chat again. Excellent, thank you. And let me go ahead and start winding up with phone tips. And the phone tips is something that, again, it's in this document I'm going to share with you. I have something called the Phone Jam Toolbox. And the Phone Jam Toolbox has all of these approaches in there that I'm going to show you right now. The tips I'm going to give you, though, are real simple. As far as the approach goes, and this is all in the toolbox, I just wanted to spend just a moment on one or two things that are in here. The first thing is when you are doing phone calls, you just worked your ass off to get all these phone numbers. You worked hard to like get everything organized on cue. You spent all this time and all these hours, all this energy just to get them on the phone. When you get them on the phone, you want to make sure that you are underlying these few simple principles. Number one is make sure you sound like they were expecting your call. So that might sound something like this. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Jackie, it's Mike Abramowitz. How are you? Good. I don't know if my name rings a bell, but you might know me. You might know my mom, Eleanor. You work with her at the bank. Did she tell you I was going to give you a call? No, no problem. That intro, and I'll say that one more time. I would encourage you to get out you could watch this recording, but get out your phone, turn voice memo on your cell phone right now, and record me. I'm going to say it again. This is a powerful intro, and a couple of things are getting accomplished here. Ready? So ring or ring. Hey, Miss Haley. Hey, Miss Haley. This is Mike Abramowitz. How are you? Good. I don't know if my name rings a bell, but you might know my mom, Eleanor. She works with you over at the bank. Did she tell you I was going to call? No, no worries. I guess I got to you first, but I was giving you a call because I had a favor to ask you. Do you have a quick second for me? So what I did is by me asking that question, do you have a quick second for me? I have a favor to ask you. Do you know my mom? I established these connections, I established control, and I established a rapport with commonality. That is a powerful intro. Once you get through the urgency, once you get through the intro and you establish that control, during your phone approach, you want to establish urgency. You want to have a goal. Ms. Jones, I normally wouldn't ask this, but I'm kind of in a pickle. I told my manager I was going to do 10 appointments this week, and right now I only have 6. So I need 4 more. And I was hoping you could do me a favor and fit me in for a quick appointment on Thursday night at 6 p.m. or would 7:30 p.m. be better for you? It would really help me out. That is urgency. Urgency. You also want to be able to handle objections if they aren't available. You want to be able to you want to handle their objections by the objection cycle, which is to thank them, no problem, tell a joke, ask a question, something like this. So, oh, I'm so busy, sweetie. Oh, no problem, Miss Jones. Thank you so much for agreeing to help me out. By the way, Miss Jones, my mom said you were nice. She didn't say you were this nice. I know you're super busy. I'll be in and out before you know it. In fact, I could even mail you your favorite bottle of wine as a bribe to help you do an appointment with me. I'm just kidding. I'm only 18, so I could send you grape juice if you want. But Ms. Jones, here's the thing. If you could fit me in for a quick appointment, it would mean the world to me. Is there any way you could fit me in for a quick appointment on Friday night at time, or would time be better for you? That is interrupting the pattern. You tell them a joke, you ask a question, you sound confident, you ask again, give them a reason on why they should do the appointment with you. And after you ask with confidence, you firm up that presentation. You firm it up by thanking them, make sure they write it down, reconfirm, and thank again. Thank them, make sure they write it down. You reconfirm. Are you sure that time definitely works for you? Because I had an appointment all the way out in California last week and I stayed up till midnight, 9 p.m. their time, and they forgot about me. So you sure this works? Oh, thank you so much. So those are some simple phone tips. The reason why I breeze through phone tips is because there's so many talks on just phoning. But the purpose of my message is to make sure that you had the tools and you are equipped with how to create more appointments and creating more phone numbers. So my action steps for each of you leaving today's message is number one is add context to your queue using the tag. Time zones, Cutco owners, starring your best bets, sending queue text to your friends, adding new context to your queue, update the notes section on queue along with stars, set up your Facebook, send your messages, get your Facebook targets to put up posts for you, and role play your phone approaches, aligning with some of those fundamentals I mentioned to you earlier. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to text you. I'm going to put in the chat box the link to the Phone Jam Toolbox and everything I talked about. And if you want to get some of the things emailed to you for Mindset, you could text GRAB to 66866. And again, my name is Mike Abramowitz. Happy to serve all of you today. Back to you, Mr. Gimbo. I'm going to put that document in the chat right now for everybody.
Yeah, how about some snaps there?